don't show live on mine.
Live.
That's the delay. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, how many of y'all got allergies out there? Because mine are kicking my butt. Kicking my butt. Listen, wherever you are at, please click like and share. And thank you for tuning in, stopping in, looking in. Now, even for the people who are the ops, I need y'all to click like, share, and subscribe also. And then listen, hit that like button, hit those like buttons, YouTube side, and then also the Facebook side. Those count. Please click like, share, subscribe, and click like, share all the way through. That is actually important. Mickey he claimed he gonna probably gave me my countdown at the correct time. I don't recall you giving me my countdown, Mickey. Anyways, Mickey, how are you this morning?
I can't complain about yourself.
I can't complain. If I did, it wouldn't matter.
Right.
Listen, I'm not gonna be on here from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I was someplace, a couple places yesterday. They was like, "So are you doing your short term?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not really. My allergies are bothering me." They're like, "Oh, well, you need something to help you feel better." No, don't try to dope me up to make sure. Listen, it is always a joy to be here. This last week, I'm gonna tell you, everything has really been, I don't know if fluid would be the word, because it's constantly changing. And there's a lot that is going on. There's a lot. And one of the things, and I'm going to get into, is the administrative consent order. And the administrative consent order, I'm not going to get into a bunch of detail because the report is long and it is very technical. And you really have to know what it is that you're talking about. And it's really it could be like a 3-part show. But one thing we do know, Flint has got some violations, but I'm gonna get into that part later. I do know that the administration released it, and that was not the plan. That was not. It was well known that they stated they weren't going to release it. The news had tried getting it, the press. They told them they weren't going to release it until council voted on it. And clearly they were given, there was enough pressure. People know that Mr. Woodson was requesting it, Arthur Woodson. I was requesting it. Scripps News was requesting it. So they had had a lot of heat on them. And that's what it takes. When people say it doesn't matter, sit back and don't do anything, don't ever sit back and not do anything, because that's what they want you to do. If anybody ever tell you don't sit back and do anything, women could not vote. We would still have in South Africa apartheid. We would still have Jim Crow, which I don't know, Jim Crow might be coming back. Now, we would not have equal housing. We would not have the Voting Rights Act. There's a lot of things that we would not have if people sat back and did nothing. And for me, voting counts. You can't complain to me if you're not doing your mere basic thing, going to the polls and voting. I don't care who you vote for, vote. Then we can have some dialogue. Voting matters. There's consequences to not voting. There's real consequences. So and Mickey over there quiet, y'all. He ain't saying nothing. So, Mickey.
Yes, ma'am.
Mickey trying to be all calm. I ain't used to this.
Gotta be calm, cool, and collected.
Is that what you are? Calm,
yes,
cool,
ma'am.
and collected.
The 3 C's.
The 3 C's. Calm. Wait, that's CAL.
Cool.
MCOOL.
And collective.
AND. Okay. Oh, and then I can do. I ain't gonna do. Anyways, I'm not here to do sign language to spell out stuff. So, but I do want to get into. As soon as I got home I don't remember what day it was, but it was 10:30. So I get a call. We have had the Oak Park. It's the Oak Park group. Oak Park is Flint's first park, actually. It is 115 years old. The Oak Park group, you had 2 people who have been coming to city council. They have been coming religiously. It's in the 3rd ward. they have been appealing to Councilman Murphy and to council to save this park. It's actually a historical park. The park is located by Ashley Capitol. And we're going to get into that. And it's located where North Street used to be. North Street, Baker. North Street is still there. Baker, Rankin. And that's where the park was. It still is. And so when they tore down Buick City, things were changing. So the people have a reunion and they do things in this park. And this park is used. It's used by people. And they clean the park. So the park has been, I guess, promised to Ashley Capitol is what I'm told. And so there was a meeting, and in the meeting, you had the Oak Park people and some residents, and they stated that Councilman Quincy Murphy told them, well, he has his 5 votes to sell the park, for the park to be sold. He has his 5 votes. And that his 5 people already rolled by and said the park needs to be sold, and that he's got his 5 votes. He said this at the meeting to the people. Now, these people have been coming. Now, here's the thing that I have a problem with. I'm going to have to pull up because we don't have the screen because I kind of follow along today. We got a little technical difficulty, y'all. Parks inside of the city of Flint, it states that a park cannot be sold. Mickey, can we put up? I sent you that ordinance.
Mm-hmm. Put it up there.
And so I'm gonna.
So I just put. Is that
Yeah, I can't see what. Yeah, I gotta log into one of my. So the ordinance in the Flint City Charter states that in order for a park to be sold, it has to go to a vote of the people. And so the park, which I did find out, doing my research, getting the proper, the correct documents, because they didn't know this. So they thought that they would have a chance. They've been working hard to save the park. And so the park actually has historical value. So I'm going on to this. So let me see what you have up. And I can't, because I can't see your screen.
I just put up the one you had to put up where it says Genesee County, but it won't let me blow it up.
It won't let you blow it up.
Yeah, they're keeping Genesee County beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Can you put up the ordinance?
Let me go back and find the ordinance.
Listen, y'all, thank y'all for being patient with us this morning. Somebody put, how does Ashley Capitol get all the money and now a park? Look, they got the money and money buys people. That's just, that's what I'm saying. I think it does. I mean, it has an influence on people. Someone told me, I was with an investor group and they were like, everything is for sale, Tonya. Everything and everybody. Nope, sorry, I'm not. No. And I don't like orange. Orange is not my favorite color. I'm not trying to be in nobody's prison or jail. So, Mickey, did you got it?
Is this one? Let's blow it up. But I got this 230225.1.
No, that was something else.
Okay.
No. Yeah, let me get it. It is actually, it's going to be a small one that goes across, and let me resend it to you. So it's at the that is at the bottom.
I got a parkland sale on parkland.
Yep. So, because I want people to, I like to kind of create like a story or a timeline, because they will. I don't want nobody to come back and say, "Oh, that's not true." Yeah, well, it is true. So you've got that up.
Mm-hmm.
So let me flip back over. So what this states, I don't see it up.
You don't see that? What's that section?
Okay. No, I got a serious delay on mine. Okay. So in essence, what this says, and I got to flip back over to listen, Mickey, you got me on the struggle bus today, y'all. We're going to blame all this on Mickey today. Okay. Because I'm trying to do it now. Okay, let me blow this back up. And that's not the right. Okay, I'm going to read it because it won't blow up on the screen, right?
No, it won't.
So, okay. So on page 47, page 47 of the Flint City Charter. It states, no City of Flint owned land which is in use as a park or was used as a park shall be sold, transferred, or diverted to any use unless approved by a majority of the electors voting thereon at any general or special election. A public hearing shall take place no less than 90 days prior to placing the issue on the ballot. Okay, so that's the Flint City Charter, page 47. So, Mickey, go to the part where it looks like this. So, in 1984,
2 of 2.
yeah, in 1984, there was a general election. Now, here's the thing. They should have told the group of people who are fighting to save this park. And listen, they need people to come to city council because the only way that this park can be saved is if 5 people do not vote for it. If they get 5 votes, it's sold. If they get 5 votes, this park means something. And as much as them people love on that council love a park, you would think they'll be trying to preserve Flint's first park, very first park that, historical value is 115 years old. And when Flint had a housing crisis where the jobs were plentiful, but there was no housing, people slept in the park. It was called Tent City. It was Tent City. So in 1984, Proposal 1, November the 6th, it says, shall the area commonly known as Oak Park, located within the city of Flint and bounded by Baker Street on the south, North Street on the west, Industrial Avenue on the east, and vacated Rankin Street on the north, be vacated on the north, be vacated as a park and sold, with the proceeds to be placed in the endowment fund established by the city of Flint for the purpose of improving and maintaining the public parks of the city of Flint. Well, we don't even have a parks department anymore. We do not. So in 1984, this passed. That's what, 40 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So 3,496 people voted to approve this in 1984. Another 14,478 said, no, we're not approving it. Nothing has been done with this park since then. It has remained a park and it has park adopters. So 40 years later, we have Ashley Capital. Ashley Capital, now, don't get me wrong with the site, that redeveloping that site is a good thing. It is. But when Ashley Capital is coming in, and from that meeting, I was disturbed. I was disturbed from what was said. One, the councilman telling the people in front, and Ashley Capital was there, that they're selling that park. Now you got, there's only 5 industrial sites like Buick City, in case many of you didn't know. The powerhouse has the power and the ability that's still on that site that they got to actually provide power for the entire city of Flint with the utilities there. That's how, the industrial, the industrial revolution, which is what it was. It really, they were prepared. There was like a city, they call it Buick City, because they didn't need power from nobody. They had their own power. And so the utilities are still there. So as they are redeveloping, and the land was contaminated because you had over 100 years of automobiles. There was no ocean, all these guidelines, and EPA, all this stuff wasn't there. So 1984, it goes to a vote. They thought the vote was 60 years ago because no one is giving them good information. I don't even think they've seen this yet. They haven't even seen this part yet. And some of them are watching today. So they want to save the park. Can you put up the part where it talks about Genesee County, keep Genesee County beautiful? It's a historical park. And it's funny because we used to live at 757 East Baker when I was born. And my dad stayed, my parents separated. he went back to the house because we owned a duplex right there on Baker, and they lived. The house was right next to the Mahans before they tore all that down. And so I'm looking at when industry comes in, and it's the same with St. John and Tulsa. You know, when you have, you displace people and displace everything. And our history, tent city with Oak Park, where this was a community, and the community people still go there. They're trying to turn into parking lot, a parking lot. Now they got all kind of land around every single place, but they're turning it into. I would like to see the park here, have them develop the park, work out an agreement, keep the park because the community, there are people who are saying, "Hey, we still want the park." They say, "Oh no, because there's no more houses." Okay, so when we travel to go up north or to these state parks, are there houses around here? No, no, there's not. You got somebody in the chat tripping?
Nah, I'm trying to trying to
Put
pull it back up, and they keep taking me to a TikTok.
You need me to resend it to
Yeah,
you?
send it to me because this is really tripping tonight. I'm on here, but it keeps sending me to TikTok.
So we talk about. I think there has to be a respect for the community when industry comes in. And council people need to keep their hand. That's why you shouldn't take, and I've always said the same thing, they shouldn't be taking money from these companies. As a matter of fact, the charter says if you do, you're supposed to disclose it and put it on your campaign finance report. But then it also tells you too, you're not supposed to accept gifts, gratuity, and they even did all of that. But y'all know we're gonna get into that too. We are going to get into that too. So when it comes to Councilman Murphy and that listen, y'all, it wasn't just Councilman Murphy there. I found out Liddell Lewis went there too. Councilwoman Liddell Lewis was there. And then they had a kicker. I don't know what this was for. Councilman former Councilman Juan Davis was there. I'm like, what is going on? So the people are so heartbroken. They're upset. And they're like, what is going on? And when Councilman Murphy said, we got our 5 votes. Just disrespectful. You need me to send it back through. Okay. Yeah, Mickey making me work hard today.
Man, this is like I said, this laptop been tripping.
Okay.
I keep having to take this joker back. Probably time to buy another one.
Did it pop back through?
I'm still waiting on
it. And if Tia is watching, Tia, hey. Tia Harris makes these beautiful cups. And I love it. It's extra. It's got a lot of bedazzle, but I guess sometimes I'm a little extra too. I love this cup, y'all. Love it, love it. Did it come up, Mickey?
No, wait, no. It's a cup in. Nah.
I'm a fire Mickey, y'all.
Man, this one
Mickey about to get fired. Is it up, Mickey, now? Mickey, I said I ain't trying to be on here, Mickey, till 8 o'clock tonight.
Me neither. I'm trying to tell you, this thing done got rough. I don't know what's going on. So I got to go pull it back up now because I got to pull it up on mine. So keep Genesee County beautiful. And then we have the park adopters who are there. So Oak Park, we'll get into some history. Oak Park is a neighborhood park located at 2598 North Street, Flint, Michigan. It sits on 8.4 acres. Man, it's been giving away land here in Flint. It sits at 8.4 acres and is the 6th largest neighborhood park in Flint. The park is currently adopted by John McFadden, an Oak Park family friend. And Mr. John McFadden he's been coming to the meetings. And they sit there quietly. Actually, he got up and spoke one day. I was like, oh, he gonna get up and speak. But I go talk to everybody, and y'all know I tick them off because I will pass out donuts at the meetings. That upsets them. So then here's some quick facts. Did you know that Oak Park is one of the oldest parks in the city? It was donated by the Durant Dort Carriage Company in 1909. So it's about 115 years old. It used to be known as Tent City, due to the populous number of residents who migrated to the city for employment opportunities. After the closing and demolition of the factories, attendance at the park greatly diminished. The park was soon left in ruins of what used to be the center of neighborhood events and summer fun for children.
the past few years, the council has been planning to decommission the park due to its lack of use and uninviting condition. However, no plans were executed. So you got the pic. Does it let you blow up the picture where it's black and white, which shows the Tent City Park?
Yeah, I got it on here, but it ain't big like it can be, but they can see it.
Okay, I'll send that picture back. So when people migrated, which I know my grandparents, everybody, a lot of people got stories of, how it migrated. People migrated from the South and they came here to for a job opportunity. The factories were plentiful. You can work at DuPont, you can work at Fisher Body, you could work at Chevrolet, or you could work at Buick. The jobs were plentiful. Okay, did it come back through? I sent the picture of Tent City. So this is where people came, and it wasn't uncommon. It was a common thing. People came from the South. And this is, if they didn't have housing, look, they made it do what it do. And so these are people who had moved. These were migrants who were living in the park, so they could get housing. And so some of the historical Civic Park. So when Civic Park came up, a lot of it, people were moved into housing as it was built. And so that's another thing when people say our pipelines, because it was a housing where materials were short. So you had some galvanized, some copper, and some were a mix because there was a housing shortage. And so that's why Flint's records are not, they're not well kept, because one, it was just a different time and different area. And they took whatever was available at that time. And let me get back to the Tent City in Oak Park. So Oak Park is now going to be coming up at some point to be given to, I guess, Ashley Capital. I don't know what amount they're giving it to them for. I do not know, because Ashley Capital has been given $3.5 million of our Arpa funds. They've been given a $72 million tax abatement. They have donated to several or a couple of our council people or in several elected officials. So here's my issue. Can you put up, Mickey, I feel that those who took money from Ashley Capital need to recuse themselves from this vote. So why should they? Because number one, they didn't report on the campaign finance. So who took money? Well, let's put up those checks again. So we know which check you got up now. I'm gonna have to work off of two phones.
I got the mayor check up here.
Okay, so Mayor Neely, and then there's some more. I don't think that was correct. I think that was one.
Okay,
but Mayor Neely got checks from Ashley Capital. Can we put the next one up? Councilman Murphy got the infamous lawnmower, and I keep telling y'all, that's a nice lawnmower. So we got that one up. I think you.
Yep, that's the lines. Two of them.
Okay, and so let me see.
How about this one right here on two checks?
Yeah, I think I have to go to it on this one on Facebook.
Thanksgiving won't be fun for me this year.
What are you talking? Oh
Lord. I should say the family reunion.
Family reunion. Listen. Sorry about that, Mickey.
No problem.
So when we look at, which check? Okay, you got the two checks.
Yeah.
So the check that was given went to Habitat for Humanity. Now, here's two things Councilman Murphy shouldn't be voting on. Anything for Habitat for Humanity, because he also voted to give Habitat for Humanity, the check was written to them. Habitat for Humanity gave the lawnmower to Quincy Murphy. Y'all know we didn't went through this. I put up the documents, and Habitat for Humanity said in MLive article, we do not have possession of that lawnmower. It was given to Councilman Murphy. That lawnmower, which was written by the owner, Richard Morton. Then we have got Councilwoman Liddell Lewis. She received Ashley Capital check $1,500 for her Halloween program, is what she stated. And so then we have another. Can you put up the spreadsheet too?
No.
So then we look at all this. So she should recuse herself because she took funds and didn't report it to her campaign finance. So Then they voted to give Ashley, and I'm gonna put up the resolutions to show what was voted on and passed.
The spreadsheet you talking about? Okay, which one was that?
It's got red on it.
I got you. Hold on, go back.
And it's got a bunch of stuff. So then on this is a list where they, I don't know, it ain't up yet. There's a lot. Was it like a 5-second delay?
Here we go. I got you. It's up now.
So okay. So I'm trying to work off of two different things. So the spreadsheet
with the lawnmower on there. And the Cyrus Park one, right?
Yep. So it's got the Habitat for Humanity, which is the lawnmower. Then it has Cyrus Park. Then you go down where it says individual Flint households. Councilman Murphy was given $4,750. That was the value, which was clothing and y'all gifts. He can't take this stuff. And food cards for 46 people. He reported none of this. He has no business voting on anything for Ashley Capital or Habitat for Humanity. It is a conflict of interest. He should be recusing himself along with Councilwoman Liddell Lewis. They should be recusing themselves. Should be voting on this. They done took this money and then like it ain't nothing. So what if they vote on for Ashley Capital? Can you put up it's going to be the look, y'all looking at it. So what did they vote on? I want you to put up the resolution. It's going to be 230225.1.
I got it.
Okay, so what did they vote to give them? A $72 million tax abatement. Won't let you blow it up. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna fire Mickey today. No, Mickey might quit.
You know what? I think my computer just overloaded. I got to clear some of this stuff out. That's what it is.
So what this resolution is, it is a resolution. It says resolution approving City of Flint Brownfield Redevelopment Authority plan for Ashley Capital's Flint Commerce Center. And what this resolution is that they voted on was giving them a $72 million tax abatement. Okay, now they didn't gave them money that they ain't reported and still acting like it's not a thing. So there's 2 times that they were asked to recuse themselves. I asked them to recuse themselves when we were at the Dome. And then the final vote before the second person to ask them to recuse themselves was Councilman Dennis Pfeiffer. When Councilman Murphy he's like, I can't wait. I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote. And I'm like, and I whoever 810 is Flint, I don't know why it's like the greatest kept secret. But there was a TikTok where they had at the Dome showing. I told them you shouldn't vote on it. And then I told them don't vote. And then Councilman Pfeiffer told them again, the final vote, don't vote. And they was like, I'm gonna vote. Councilman Murphy said he was gonna vote. I mean, he was adamant. You know, you weren't gonna stop him from voting. So I need you to pull this one up. Can you pull that one up? So that was the resolution. So what was the benefits of Ashley Capital? Okay. So the benefits of Buick City redevelopment. The city of Flint's $3.25 million investment of Arpa funds will be leveraged at a rate of 4-1. State of Michigan gave 8.5. Genesee County gave 3.5. $2 million was from CS Mines. Says this is the largest private capital investment in North Flint in several decades. Approximately $300 million of private capital investment. Approximately 3.5 million square feet across 7. I don't even know what that means. 79. Anyways, I'm not going to even get into that one. So anyways, Flint had an investment. They took $3.25 million of our ARPA funds. That's still a conflict of interest because you vote on Ashley Capital. And then they got conflicts of interest with ARPA funds too. So they voted to give Ashley Capital probably $1 billion company. They got more than $1 million. They millions or billions. They got money. And so they gave them a $72 million tax abatement. Then they voted to give them $3.25 million of ARPA funds. I did vote to give them that. I absolutely did, because I feel it was a good investment to have that site redeveloped for economic development for our community. I did support that. Not all council members did. I did support that. I felt they should have recused themselves, but they didn't. So here is the TikTok where we're talking about it, which I think it made them mad, because they get mad about my social media. they put in a resolution my social media was a problem. Let me know when it's. Is it?
I got it. This is Tonya Burns asked. Oh, I got it. Went right to it. Can I get it together? I'm finna put this on. We ain't gonna have no friends at council.
Do y'all have some now?
Mm-mm.
Okay. He act like that's something new. Don't go, we ain't gonna have no friends at council. Listen, they don't like y'all.
I know.
They made a tripod resolution, which was the craziest thing. You can record, but you can't have a tripod. What difference does it make? And if it's in front of you or sit on your lap, I mean, they waste time on crazy.
I got some new stuff for them now, though.
You got some new stuff?
I got some new stuff.
Okay, because y'all, they mad. That area over there, I'm gonna clear the chambers. I'll be like, why is y'all so angry? Don't come in that council and be like, don't clap. You might get arrested.
They can put us at the back of the bus now. We still gonna
at the back of the bus,
and we gonna hear them loud and clear.
Like, listen, the stuff they get mad about that section. Worry about what's going on up here, because they talk, but they don't want the residents to talk. And they talk all the time. And they loud. Even when we talking, and even at the budget hearing, you can hear Liddell. And I'm like, I am really not even trying to listen to y'all. And Quincy talking, and they're disrespectful. But let somebody in the audience talk. Point of order, person in the back row. This area over here, point of order. Then they be calling out the wrong people. It be the wrong people sometimes. Like, why are you worried about what's happening at in the council chambers? Let people clap. Let people get excited about something good that's happening. Where does it state in there that you have to sit there quietly? We need everyone to take their seats. There is no rule that says when you come in council chambers, you got to take a seat. It does not state that. They come up with crazy stuff. Do not approach the clerk, Candace. Where does it say you can't talk to the clerk? I mean, they running this like they some tyrants, dictators. It's crazy, some of the stuff. Do not do this. First of all, you don't rule over anybody. Candace need to worry about that $300,000 that Mayor Neely then threw her underneath the bus with. She just said, now she might have voted on everybody else stuff, but when that $300,000 came up there, baby, Ed Taylor swooped up there. I was like, this is about to get good. We do not support this. Whose signature is on this? The administration did not send this up. I was like, does she get it now? But she didn't understand when they sent up the resolution. And I'm sidebarring. I don't think she understood when they sent up the resolution that excluded the mayor from taking checks, but included city council, the resolution that you have to disclose that if it was a conflict of interest and that you have to disclose for doing business. Well, that's already in the charter. He only put council members, but she didn't take it or read that. She was like, I guess, I'm going to send it up. I'm going to get we're going to get our 300,000. They sent that up. Administration says, no, not today. We are not supporting this. And then she voted on it. She voted to give her own organization she's affiliated with $300,000 in committee meeting. You can't make this stuff up. It is so in everybody's face. So then it went to council, and then they pulled it off. Liddell pulled it off. Liddell pulled it off of the agenda. Her bestie pulled it off for her. The same one who said before, "Oh, we're gonna get our money," and gave the thumbs up. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, you can't. I don't know how we didn't sidebar.
No, I got you.
I mean, and people are like, what's going on? And when Jedediah was here, he was like, Flint more corrupt than Dalton. It is really in the communities and in the residents' face. Liddell gave herself her organization that she's incorporated with another 25,000.
75 altogether.
75,000. Service Park. First round 50, second round 25. She got money from Ashley Capital. She didn't disclose it. And that's all that we don't know what all they done got now. I think it's time to ask Ashley Capital again, what else have they given? Because now this park coming, and they should not be getting, Liddell shouldn't be voting on it, and Quincy shouldn't be voting on it. No, they should not. They should not. And I'm going to take it even further. Because Ashley Capital received Arpa funds, Leon El Alamein shouldn't be voting on it. Because he was on the Arpa committee. He was privy to information. He served on that. He gave recommendations. He should not be voting on it. So Liddell shouldn't. Leon El Alamein, Quincy Murphy should not be voting on it. Leon served on the Arpa committee. Liddell took a check from Ashley Capital, and then voted to give the Arpa fund. Just all kind of conflicts of interest. Those three should not be voting on this park. They should not at all. So let's get back to the final vote. Councilman Pfeiffer told them don't vote on this, and they should be recusing themselves. That's when we were over at the Dome. That was the day where Ashley Capital was getting that $72 million tax abatement, and he asked them not to do it. But this one was when we were at the Dome, and I told them don't do it. So they were asked not to do it by their colleagues. Can you play the TikTok?
Just don't put my check up. You see one for 810 surprisingly show up. Don't put that up.
Listen,
on here.
You better not been and got no check and got me in this little hot box. If you got a check, y'all, listen. We should have, because this is, ain't no budget. This is on the prayer and some faith that we are producing this stuff and showing it to you. Because there is no paychecks for anybody. Not anybody, but anybody. Okay.
I don't know what might happen in August if they come back around. I'm just saying, y'all, if you see a check with 18.
You better get a big check. That's what I used to work at the bank, and I remember there was another teller. She was stealing money big time. She was stealing big time. And we had a very busy bank, and this was at it was Citizens Bank, and it was at Fashion Square Mall, and she was cleaning out. And I'm like, if I was doing that in black, they would have handcuffed me, and it's a different thing. And so she was going to all kind of concerts, taking people different places. What was the magician with the black hair? They was going like front row. Was it David somebody? He's a magician. She was going to Vegas, just doing it up. I told them, I remember the FBI came and they was like, well, we need to talk. I had 2 little children then. And I told them, I said, look, first of all, if I'm a steal, I'm going to federal prison. I'm not going for no little. I wouldn't be going for no $1,500. I wouldn't be going for no lawnmower. I wouldn't be going for no gift cards. If you gonna go, you better go big. If you gonna be a criminal, be a good criminal. Now, I'm not a criminal, y'all. I ain't taking no money. Let me be clear. But if you're going to go to prison and take some money, Mickey, you better take a big check. You hear me?
You better believe
Don't you take no little check now. If you're going to go to prison and do something illegal, make it worth your while. Don't go for no little money. You better go for the gusto. Look how Ashley Capital got a $300 million project. Don't you come with no, I only ask for $20. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're right.
But these are the views of Tonya Burns and not 810. Tonya, let me make that clear. These are my personal view. And listen, Tonya Burns ain't took no money. Now they asked. asked me, and I've always disclosed that. They did ask me, Mark and Susan did ask me. And that's when they told me they had sent checks. They gave checks. And then they said, they sent me the checks. So they were honest about it. Mm-hmm. They asked me, is there something that I said, no, because I want to keep my hands clean. I don't do that. There's other ways. I don't want Tonya Burns' name on nothing, because Lord knows they make up lies about me. Make up lies. So let's get back. Mickey, you keep distracting me.
I'm okay. I'm gonna stop, but I got to play.
So I want to put it, to set it up again. They were asked twice by colleagues. Councilman Pfeiffer told them at the final vote, he initiated it. And then that was at our final vote. And then when I first found out about the checks, we was over at the Dome. Man, I don't miss being at that Dome. Mm-mm. It was so, we was like shoulder to shoulder. So let's put up when I asked them. This is when y'all know when I got them checks, I couldn't wait to talk about them checks, because I knew they had did something wrong. I told Mays, I said, Mays, they got some checks. He said, what you mean? I said, I'm telling you, because me and I told him, I wish you hadn't. And he's like, well, I did it for my campaign. I reported mine. And he told everybody. He disclosed it. And I told him when he was talking about it, and that's when we were at the county at that time. And I said, the way they looked at each other, they got checks. But 3-4 weeks later, sitting in the basement of Metropolitan with Racer Trust, talking about the Brownsfield cleaning it up. And it was Arthur Woodson. And y'all know he talk a lot. And he don't ever shut up. And then there was Deacon A.C. Dumas and Papa Jared and Mr. Davis there. And they was all arguing with each other, because all of them know everything. All of them know everything. Not everything, everything. And soon as Mark and Susan came, I leaned back and I said, hey, Mark, I said, how are y'all? They're like, good. How are you, Tonya? And always respectful. And I do like them. Don't get me. I do like them. And so I said, hey, quick question. I said, has any other council members, have they received any donations? Oh, yeah, sure. I said, oh, here we go. Boy, they quit arguing. Papa, Woodson, and Dumas stopped arguing. And they was quiet. And I was like, this ear, and they like, I said, so this is, oh yeah, well, is it something that you would like? I said, oh, no. Well, we've given to Mark, what's that lawnmower? Did it come in that we ordered, Quincy? It's a nice lawnmower. It's what, 10, 11, 12,000?
No, it's not.
And Papa was like this then, Papa Jared. And so then she says, well, I don't know if it's in yet. Mark said, I don't know if it's in yet. Now, don't get me, look, I like them people. I do. And so then she says, we also gave it to Liddell. She has this program. I said, oh, yeah, I said in her, it's a Halloween program. Yeah. And so we did today. No, so if it's something that you need, and then we've given gift cards and things. Now, they ain't knowing Quincy and Liddell ain't reported nothing, y'all. Nothing. I ain't told nobody, ain't disclosed. They ain't said nothing. Quincy and them talking about something. He was a lobbyist. He told her there is a TikTok that he completely told her he took money. I said, he self-incriminated himself. What was he thinking? So that's how we found out about them checks. I found out about them checks. And then Papa was like, what kind of llama? Is that an X mark? Because I want. He said, that's a nice lawnmower. He said, that's a Bentley. And so when I looked up that X mark, man, it gets some grass clippings just real. It has expandable base that can come in. Now, listen, y'all, it can cut some grass. And so that's how we found out the checks. But women have a woman's intuition. Y'all men need to understand that. There's some things we just be knowing. A woman's intuition is powerful. When she be like, I know what you're doing. Y'all better believe if a woman tell y'all that, and y'all, man, I know what you're doing. You think you slick. I know.
Y'all also can take nations down. Don't forget that.
I done seen y'all destroy kingdoms.
Wait a minute. How we look? I know we side by how women destroying kingdoms.
I'm just saying.
How?
I'm just saying. Have you forgot about Samson?
Oh no, he did not. He went. Okay, now he went to go to the Bible, y'all.
Strength was in his hair. Did nobody know that?
Okay, listen. We're gonna put up this TikTok and then Mickey. I ain't side by because that's gonna be a whole nother conversation. He talking about some women take down nations. Okay.
Helen of Troy.
Listen, nobody trying to have no history lesson here. Listen. We talking about this lawnmower, okay?
I got you on the lawnmower.
And this Oak Park and why we need residents to show up. Next meeting, May 8th and May 13th. We need y'all there to speak up about Oak Park. I played in that park my whole life. Literally, as a little girl, all day. Street lights come on. And it's funny because they had a fountain in the park. So we didn't even have to go home to get anything to drink. We went home to eat. And that was it. We went home to eat. That's when you would make a bologna sandwich, throw it on the fork, put the slit in, put it in the skillet, and throw it over the little flame because we had a gas stove. My dad then he didn't cook when we was at his house. he still can't cook. That's I'm gonna say I have two wonderful fathers. Yes, my stepfather and my dad, and I call them both my dad, and I love them both, and they're both. I mean, they're wonderful men. They're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful men. But my dad that lived on Baker couldn't cook. Still can't cook. Don't nobody eat his food at all. At all. So we played at Oak Park all day with me and my cousins. Because that back in the day, all your cousins came over. Parents wasn't no babysitters. They put all the kids in one house. Grandma's house. It's like your turn to keep all the kids. We played at Oak Park on them metal slides that was hot when the sun hit them, that would burn your skin. The merry-go-round, the the wheel of death, where you would go as fast as you can, and you had to run around and push the merry-go-round, and then the swings. Listen, them was workout. And the monkey bars. The monkey bars where you had to have strength to go across the monkey. You know what? Maybe that's what's wrong. Look, I done got older. We used to be physically fit as kids, because you had to work out with upper body strength. But getting back to that old park, Oak Park, which is the park I grew up in. And Mickey getting ready. They're trying to sell it. But we're going to get to the TikTok where Councilman Murphy, Liddell Lewis, and I was telling them, y'all need to recuse yourself because y'all took checks from Ashley Capital. Play the TikTok before we get into Helen of Troy and Samson and Delilah. This is a discussion that needs to be had because in the Flint City Charter, page 11, it does state a public servant shall not accept gifts, gratuities, honorarium, or things of value from any person or company doing business or seeking to do business with the city of Flint. And when we look at that, it also speak to state law and then also federal law. And as I have stated that having this as a business, they've taken money, I think that they should recuse themselves when we're voting on anything. Anyone who received donations, gifts from Ashley Capital should recuse themselves. Councilman Mays did disclose his, and he told us every meeting that he could that he had disclosed it. And I don't know if he put it on his campaign finance, but I think it has come into question on if the other people have done it. And it came about when I asked the question to Ashley Capital at the meeting, had any other members received gifts? And they were very transparent. And then they sent the copies of the checks. So there was they did tell me that Councilman Murphy received a lawnmower that they had ordered, and that Councilman Lewis had her Halloween program. Then I did receive the checks that Councilman Lewis received $1,500 into her service park, which she went back and forth with me on Facebook, which I wouldn't have done that to post that, but then Councilman Murphy's lawnmower, they sent the check, and that one was written on a personal account. And so when we are voting on the $3.5 million, it's a $300 million project, Buick City redeveloping. And then we're voting on the 80-20
$72 million tax abatement that for the residents, or how they're going to capture, which is $72 million. It should have been disclosed. So we talked about at our last meeting, they talked about they're open for business. One of the council members, he stated he was open for business. And only 5 or 6 of us are open for business. I'm not open for that kind of business. I'm transparent. I don't do business that way. I don't do. We can't say that some of the members don't know the difference, because when we had the North Flint Food Market, we had the 2nd Ward and 5th Ward both recused themselves from voting because they were members and they did not vote in that. So we know the difference, and we have to make sure when we talk about, when we take the oath says to the charter. That's in the oath. And so we are taking, not we, because I'm not taking, Tonya Burns is not taking anything. They were very nice when I spoke to them. They did state, if you like anything, no, I don't want anything. Because I want my decision to be transparent and not to be influenced. And it should not.
Okay. So listen, they were warned. That was, we were in the dome packed like a can of sardines next to each other. So then they were warned at the final vote when Councilman Pfeiffer asked them, please don't vote. There was no reason for them, and they probably, I don't even know if they regret taking it, because they never have any remorse. I mean, and I look at how they're moving. You took money and then you turn around to vote to give Habitat for Humanity money, to give them what, 3, I forget them, I had to look that up. Then to give Ashley Capital $3.25 million. You know, we want businesses to do business, but we shouldn't be saying, well, what you gonna do for me? That's not to serve. That's not serving. That's not serving. And so I lost my comments on here. So May 8th, May 13th, we're asking for people to show up. The power of the people is, there is power, and it's power in your vote. And I'm asking you to show up. You know, the Friends of Oak Park need help. Mr. McFadden needs help. You know, he has a group, they need help. We have to start standing together. We have to start standing together, because your people, residents coming in, I'm going to tell you, they weaponize the police on them. The police, they will call them to have you arrested, to have you thrown out. This is a common practice. If you clap, if you stand up, if you talk too loud, then people don't even be talking to them, and they'll be like, I hear you. You know, that's a warning. No matter, everything you do is a warning. Now, you know who don't get warnings? It's the people who support them and their nonsense. They don't get warnings. Never, ever get warnings. You know, at what point we're, first of all, Liddell Lewis, and she said I was out there lied about Doug. She lied. She's a liar. That I was pointing my perfectly manicured fingernails. And by the way, my nails are done today, Mickey.
That's what's up.
they are done. Look, how y'all doing? So my nails and my feet are done. Even though I got them little itty bitty feet, my feet are about, I got them little bitty toes. My toes are lit. Look, but they done. Yeah. And so when she stated a lie. You know, I have the right to go out and talk to people. He asked to see my receipt for a shirt. So I took it out there. I first stopped to show Attorney Kemp. Then I went out to show him. He got upset because he didn't believe, as a Black woman, I could produce the receipt. Now, why ain't he questioning Liddell and them about that stuff? I don't understand it. You know, you can't say you are a fair and just person, because it takes away his argument. Because some of the things that they're doing, they are very questionable. You want to question me about a $20 shirt. You know, and then he doesn't want to question them about the stuff they're doing. Why? Because they defend him. And that nonsense. You know, he was in there, you know, whistling to me like I was a dog. Completely disrespectful as a Black woman. You know, people be like, well, you know, defending Liddell. Now, yeah, they do say some things. Liddell say something. She keeps putting people out.
and she has called some names which are not they're not flattering. But I think that I think the disrespect in council chambers has gotten, I've never seen it like this ever. But the disrespect comes from the council members not giving the residents the respect. When you come and you throw out people in your own ward, and because one lady was on she's a senior citizen and she was on a walker, she put her out. She came there to get help. She was sleeping in her car. So I've never seen anything like that. When you come there, it is stressful. It's like PTSD when like the next day or two after those meetings, because you deal with so much and there's so much coming at you, and they attack in a group. And I just I'm like, y'all are not my purpose. I stay prayed up, and I don't pray with them when they be praying. No. And Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter doesn't either. And Dennis Pfeiffer doesn't either. No. So, Oak Park, to summarize that, Oak Park is the oldest park in the city of Flint. It was the first park in the city of Flint. It has historical value because it was tent city. Second, all the park is still being utilized. They have a park adopter, Mr. McFadden, and the Oak Park Friends. They do have functions there in the park. It takes 5 council people to vote on that to get it to approve. The vote was in 1984. The majority, and I didn't think they could hold it that long, Mickey. I'm like, that was 1984 and ain't done nothing since then. Mm-hmm. Now, do you take it back to a vote? That was, I've never, the legality in that I am questioning and waiting on a response from that. And so you have the sell of the park. It's going to take, the sell of the park was a requirement of the Flint City Charter. And it's been taken to a vote in November the 6th, 1984. So the next step if the park leaves, it's because 5 council members did it. Any council prior would not sell the park. They wouldn't do it.
So this council,
the only one.
The worst one. This is the worst 5. Because I ain't gonna say the worst council, because everybody not worse, but the voting block.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, my mic on. This is the worst voting block in the history.
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah. And then they told the people with Ashley Capital there. Liddell Lewis was there, and so was Quincy. And Liddell didn't say much, they said, but Quincy told them, well, we got 5 votes. I got my 5 votes. Just disrespectful. Quincy shouldn't be voting on it because he took money from Ashley Capital. Liddell shouldn't be voting on it because she got money for the nonprofit she incorporated. Leon L. Alameen shouldn't be voting on it because he served on the Arpa committee. Matter of fact, it shows who, and it's funny, I was looking at that. Why did they have him on there as the 3rd ward? Do you see that? I put the Arpa committee thing on. They had him, I don't know. When he was on, yeah, they had him on his 3rd ward. Now, we didn't get to pick those Arpa people. We did not. And so,
gotcha.
They had him on as you need me to rescind it. So he should not be voting on it because he served on the Arpa committee.
Yes. I took a picture, but it won't let me pull it up.
Okay, I just sent it back. So 3 of the council people should not be voting on it because they've been affiliated with it, and it is a conflict of interest. It is a conflict of interest. So, did it come up?
Yeah, I finally got this.
Okay, and so I'm gonna pull it back up. So when you look at it, who served on the ARPA committee? He was the 3rd ward when you scroll down to his picture, and so
there we go.
He shouldn't be voting on anything ARPA. That's a conflict of interest. You served on that board. He shouldn't be voting on anything, and it is unethical. And so I don't know why they have on there for him for Ward 3.
Could it be was it the redistricting?
I don't know. It could have been redistricting. So if
but that don't kick in at 26.
Right, to 26. So if in 26 comes, he's going to be in 3rd Ward.
Right.
That's going to be interesting with this election. That's going to be interesting.
That is it, because I'm like, I see that, because I think somebody and I think at City Council in the chat, somebody did say that he was in the 3rd Ward in Strange, that he was 1st Ward.
So
this is rough.
Yeah. So the 3 of them should not be voting. They should not be voting on that, because he did serve on the Arpa committee. They said he didn't serve his full term, but here's the other thing. Remember, we didn't know when the Arpa committee was meeting. We were never told. No minutes were ever given to the Flint City Clerk, who is the official record keeper. So we don't know what was going on, how they were selecting things. There were no notes, no minutes taken. They did not disclose to the public. It was not an open, and it was a violation of the Open Meetings Act, because they were not open to the public. It is a multi-member body group, because look how many people on there. It's more than 2 people. And then according to the charter, it states that if any multi-member body group, which this was, you're bound by the Open Meetings Act and the certain stipulations, as in all other, like the Ethics and Accountability Board, the Human Relations Board, Citywide Advisory. This committee didn't follow any of them rules. Zero. They didn't follow any of these rules at all. And that was why me and Councilman Mays took it to court. They didn't follow any of these rules. And so he served on that committee. He shouldn't be voting on anything ARPA. That's a conflict of interest. He served on the board. He served on that board, period. He should not. So if he listened, which we know they be listening, Mr. El Alamin, Leon, I wouldn't be voting on that if I were you. You served on the ARPA committee. And I wouldn't be so much taking some of Attorney Kim's advice. I would not.
That's the one of the, but that to me, just my personal opinion, he empowered them with giving them false legal opinion.
Now, I can't talk about the court case.
No, I'm just saying this. I'm just saying how the stuff they doing, like, I mean, just like that resolution, state law, when you can't, the Ashley Capital, how you voting on something you took money from these people.
Right. You voting to give, right. You voting to give yourself money. Well, it's also too, Liddell Cyrus Park. I mean, the New Hustle is nonprofits.
Yeah.
And those three have nonprofits.
That's what's crazy.
The New Hustle is nonprofits.
489 allegedly is in Flint.
The Hustle is nonprofits. Listen, simple as that. Simple as that. And it's funny because you look at stuff, man, they was hoping that I had taken out a PPP loan and they could.
Right.
No, I did not.
Man.
No. I mean, this had gotten back to me. No, I did not. No. So those three should not.
Did you explain to them you wasn't a thief like them?
Yeah, I'm not. Like that, I tell everybody everything about me. Hell, they know everything about me. Ain't too many secrets, and then some of these are the grimiest politics I've ever seen. Yeah. And the thing that if you want respect in those council chambers, you got to respect the people in there. And I'm gonna honestly tell you, when I chaired, I never had any of them problems. I did not. The only person I may have went back and forth with, and he went back and with me, and I went back and forth with him, me and Councilman Mays, but we debated, but we were friends, but Councilman Mays and I, that was, I'm a fight for my ward. I remember one time he looked across the aisle and told me, if I was you, Ms. Burns, I wouldn't vote for Miller Road. I said, Councilman Mays, you don't have to vote for it, but I am, because Miller Road is my district. We'll go up to it with the new boundaries, and you got to put, you put on what you want to be paved, and I'm gonna support it too. I'm gonna support what's right for Flint. What for the people in its entirety. I'm for the people in its entirety. So I don't have to like you to vote on a project that I think is will benefit the people. So let me get back over to, we didn't went off a little bit. So they should not be voting on that, the three of them. So May 8th, May 13th, and then after that, we're asking that you show up for Oak Park. They need your help. The Friends of Oak Park who are fighting to save this park. Bishop Bernadette Jefferson is a part of this too. She is. She's at the meetings too.
So it is.
She be at the And so you're correct. And so they be at the meeting. So they need help. We got to start coming together. You know, people are like, well, I don't want to be in council that long. Come, show up, leave out the public team, but show up. You know, and that's the thing. Who shows up for you? Lord knows people call me about a parking ticket, name in my word, a pothole, Arpa funds, you name it. The people next door won't quit playing their music. Somebody got a dog. I mean, you name it. What happened with this? And I take their calls. I need people to show up. Show up for me. Show for yourself. Show up to show that we are united. People were upset because Jedediah came here. There were some. And people had their opinions. I don't know. People are entitled to their opinions.
Yes, ma'am.
It's like I'm entitled to mine.
Yes, ma'am.
No, it should not take for someone to come here to rally people together.
Yes, ma'am.
But the people have got to start rallying people together.
Yeah.
Simple as that. We've got to do it. Who else is doing it? You know, everybody can't lead. And we need to keep it on the platform. Scripps News is not here.
Right.
They be here all the time. I talk to Carrie all the time. She's not here. She don't live here. Keeping our service lines, you know, out there, making sure we know what's going on. I've been working for Carrie so long that her first one, I think, because, you know, my residents, people say I'm a little bit too close to them, you know, or I do too much. You know, and I get with people, and I've been told this by a few people. How I deal with my residents, everyone has a different way. It's kind of like your different style of talking or how you manage something. I am very hands-on to try to nip certain things in the bud. That's just me. That's just how I do things. And everyone has to find their own way to serve. Right. I serve differently, you know, and I do make myself available to a lot. I do a lot. I have 6 organizations with meetings that I go to. So what was I talking about, Mickey? Because Lord knows.
You need the people to show up to council.
We need people to show up to council. Thank you. Y'all got to show up. It shouldn't take Jedediah, but he's here. But what difference does it make how many people we have that come? We look at the March on Washington, which the movie Byron Rustin is a good movie. People came from every state. It was Black, it was white, it was everybody. They worked with male, female. They came together to have the largest march to date, which was the March on Washington, where Dr. King gave his I Have a Dream speech. And if you want to watch something, the Byron Rustin movie on Netflix is good. They didn't talk about him, how he was organized and doing the things, why he was a gay Black man. Watch that movie. You will like it. I've watched it 3 times because it talks about it and it shows how the U.S. came together. They knew they had a small window to do something great for our country. And people came together. Them people came here on bus. They flew in. They got cars. They did whatever they could do to get to. They carpooled. People did whatever they could do to get here because it was that important and it was well organized. When you watch that movie, you'll hear them say, well, they had the water fountains where they had the the porta potties, where they had to have their seating, their PA system, so they can make sure that if there were people all the way out there that they could hear them. It's not a I, it's a we. Right. It's we. We have got to come together to have effective change. We have got to come together to have effective change. Whoever want to come here and help, just like we probably should be over in Dalton helping them with Teflon, Tiffany, Tahoe, in Dalton, Illinois.
No, but you do need help. I was saying this the other day. Some people, platforms are bigger. We only can go so far.
Absolutely.
That's why I do respect. I'm just saying, because I don't know how big the brother platform is, but if they talking about highlighting on their platform about the crisis in Flint, and then whoever he friends with, the more traction to get, I'm with it. I don't get off into that. I just look at people think outside of Flint that this thing got fixed, and
it's not. Don't let Flint crisis die, because that's what they wanted to do.
Right.
They wanted is we gonna pivot. They want the water crisis to die. Let's go on, put up the Scripps News. Listen, y'all. There's so much happening with that administrative consent order and the TMF report, which is in there, the technical managerial finance report, which is inside of the ACO report. And I don't have enough time to go through all of that today. So I'm going to give a breakdown. One, it lists the violations. The violations, which is what?
You don't want the one where it said Biden pledge. You want the other one?
I want the other one.
I got you. Let me go back to that one. You know, you got two of them. Wow. Yeah.
So,
going to your email.
Mickey fired y'all.
I'm trying. Hard on it. Hard on it. Right
it's hard on the producer. What?
It's hard on the producer. I ain't no player.
So because Mickey been in that you.
So I got to say a producer.
Yeah,
but it's still a capital P.
I do not want to see you funeralized, okay? So don't be out here talking crazy.
No, that's why I just said, you know, it's still a capital P, but it's just the producer.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. I got it.
Okay, so it's up. So this article with Scripps, and Scripps has been here. When you're dealing with, and it is very fluid. I'm a night owl, like most people know. And she'll text or she'll call, and she is the sweetest person. And Carrie, if you're watching, what's up, girl? So in my ward, I don't think they was planning on doing as many as they were doing. They were trying to pass them people off. Michelle Young has been my best friend, one of my best friends. Because y'all know I got best friends for life. I got some best friends that ride with me. I do. You know, Michelle, Stephanie, I've got Yolanda, I've got Wendy, I've got Equana, and some more. I got some best friends. I'm lucky and I'm blessed to have some women that are surrounded with me that don't tell me what I want to hear, because they don't. Matter of fact, they rather mouthy, but they support me and they support my advocacy. And I appreciate the women that God has put into my life. I am appreciative of y'all. So, and I got many more, but Mickey, we got to get this little article going. So, is it up? Okay, so this I think I'm gonna break down and get a new phone too. I don't know if it's the 5. So, days after Scripps News investigation, work quietly resumes in Flint. So people heard me and Arthur Woodson will argue for the rest of our lives. That's just the way it's going to be. So don't y'all take it personal, because generally when I think he's calmed down, when therapy, we going to talk. And Arthur Woodson, if you're watching, I done told you I don't take your calls after 9 o'clock. He called me at 6-something this morning again. You feel me, Mickey?
I know, because you didn't take mine this morning. So I don't feel bad.
I was on the phone with somebody else.
I know. I'm just messing with you. I just had to throw that out.
I said, Mickey, give me 5.
Yeah, I just thought that because you answered on every time.
I know, and I was on, and I wasn't on with him then. I was on. People call me all the time, and so I think it was on with my son. Because my son tells me, I'm home. I'm headed home. Can you make me some goulash? And so I got to make him some goulash. I don't know where I'm
be a plate coming to 8:10.
Listen, I owe my cousin. I went over to his house last night. Goulash for like, say it's 28 for 26 years. I owe him a pot. I'm like, dude, I'll be busy. So, anyways, days after Scripps News investigation, work quietly resumes in Flint. So, the ACO order, which me and Woodson were talking about, and the news. I'm going to say the news. I'm going to say the information. The other morning, I posted And I need to play that video. That's what I need to do, because Arthur Woodson put up the video and I put it up at 6:15 a.m. And he thinks he has the rule that if I see you post something, I can call you. It's not. Mickey laughing. I don't like talking to him. I mean, it's too early. And he has the energy that I'm not trying to have that energy. And I don't even think I had been to sleep yet because I got some projects that I'm working on. And so he calls. And I'm like, and I listen, I just got through listening to it. And him going back and forth with the gentleman who's over the what's the name, and he has spoken to Pocan. And so our information is not different really at all. Because we are, like I told him, when he was on the morning bump, and y'all tune in Monday through Friday, the morning bump. Our fight is not with each other. It should always be what we're saying this, we, not I, are saying the same thing. So he's going in on them about this administrative consent. Yeah, he and so I shared it. And so people have got to start sharing. Don't get information and keep it to yourself.
Right.
So the administrative consent order was released. So I called him I was wrong. I was wrong too when I called you. Don't put me in group text, y'all. I hate a group text. He didn't do the group text. Stephanie did the group text. And she's like, well, I'll put you in the group text. And I called him and said, don't put me in no group text. I don't do group text. I ain't put you in no group text. I said, oh. So Stephanie had seen the article as it came over. The city said that they released the ACO. And so we were talking about it. And so the ACO, I said, man, the mayor had to release the ACO? No, he don't want to make it look like Arthur Woodson was right. That's like an L. That is a L, because Woodson was cutting up on that communications meeting to where Athena had to pull him back. And you got to, after Woodson go off, you got to talk to him. I'm like, look, you gotta, kind of let, man, I said, look, and he was going in.
No, he passionate about it.
Beyond passionate. It's like all caps passionate. Yeah, all passionate. Caps. And so he was going in. So that's not my approach like that. That's his thing. No, that's his style. Like Councilman Mays had his style. And so while he didn't going off on there, I didn't talk to everybody at the state, and I'm going notes. I'm doing my emails back and forth. They know this is not the way it's supposed to be. So the 1.5 million, which I said the state had given them, which is around the amount that that road should be getting paid, is what the city gave them. And so these numbers are so bad that they need to do a chart. And I told Woodson, we really need to work on this together. He didn't take my call back. I was going to have him on and do what's in that, because it's so much. And as it has changed. How many service lines do we have to fix? Can you drink water from the tap? All these $1 million projects that you see in this report have not even bid it out.
For real?
Have not. A lot of them have not even been bidded out. They were supposed to been completed. With this administrative consent agreement that they have had, the city of Flint is supposed to do $6 million worth of projects every year. That has not been done, y'all.
$6 million every year?
That has not been done. And so when I say it's a lot of information which needs to be put together and put into a bullet point so people can understand it, it's going to take some time.
How long he been in office?
19. Now, hold on.
Okay.
He said COVID. This work can be done outside. And then he said, well, it's the fault of the past administration. That's just lies. Why? Because, Mayor, we were left $24 million. Where is that money at? He done ran through that money. She left $24 million fund balance. So the technical managerial finance report, which is inside the ACO report, the technical part is, do we have all of our buildings up? Do we have everything that was required for our safe infrastructure? We failed that, y'all.
Godly.
The managerial part, The managerial part, which is of the TMF part report, means do we have the proper people in place? Well, who are the proper people in place? That we don't have a DPW director.
Clyde.
We don't have a DPW director, okay? One who is licensed, who knows what that's not Clyde's area of expertise.
No.
That's not. And so we do not have a DPW director. There is a requirement that they staff the water distribution center over there on Dort Highway by a certain time to hire people to where the city is taking care of its own business. That has not been done.
Yeah, right.
And we don't have a DPW director. We're supposed to have people in place over to run this so that we don't have to have Eagle. So the state really wants us out of there so that we hire our own qualified people. Right now, Eagle, if you need your water tested, it's a state-run lab. We don't need the water lab. Why? Because Eagle is state tested. They test the water over there. So the managerials, do we have the proper staffing? No. The finance. We get ready to get a water rate increase.
You said we're going to get a what?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not.
Yeah, we are. Right. Because it's, we already pay for high water that you can't drink from the tap. So let me tell you something else that they're doing. Hidea, which was in Scripps' first one about Flint, I believe. She's in the 6th ward. Couldn't get her stuff done until Scripps. She's in my ward. I don't think he's going to get his done.
Nope.
I'm just saying, y'all. Because I've been on the phone with them for, I don't know how, 2 years I've been trying to get his stuff done. And I'm just going to call him Jeff. Jeff will not get his stuff done. So they are saying now what they did was said, in the state, I talked to Mr. Pocan, and he said, well, Tonya, he didn't contact the row. I said, not true. I even contact the row for him. He sends me emails, and I would say Jeff keeps a very detailed record of the times and the date when the phone wasn't working. Now, I played before the Scripps News, which was Hidea, who was in my ward, where she was on there, which, she had been asking to get hers changed. So guess what they did to Jeff's? They didn't put him over in the category and said, in the category that he never contacted them and they couldn't contact him. Then they said, and I kid you not, they said with him, well, according to Flint records, it is a likelihood he has copper. That's not how the restoration goes. An excavation, they're supposed to excavate it. Everybody know Flint's records were horrible. Horrible. That's not the judge. That's not what the judge's order state. So now they're relying on Flint records, and I'm gonna say they lying is what they doing. Lying. This man is so upset because I don't think he's gonna get his done. And so I'm on with the state. The state's like, no, they haven't been done. We went down the 2400 block, the 2500 block, the 2600 block, the 2700 block, and the 2800 block over every house. His ain't done. I told him he didn't contact him, but he kept a receipt. And then he also sent me the emails. So there was a paper trail. So something is going on. So I get a call back that said, Tonya, they are saying now for those people who have been requesting to get it done that they're going by city records. They know them records is messed up. That's not what they're supposed to do. If you want your yard excavated, they're supposed to do it. And these people have been asking. So here's the part where we were going over with, there are some questions with really as to how much money. I was told there was no more money and that they are working on November and December's reimbursements. And then the state has said, okay, we'll give you 1.5 million. I'm like, oh, how nice of them. No, we need everything fixed. So this this ACO, all these letters, it's got a lot in it. And literally, I have got to go through. So I have someone who is I'm gonna say an expert in it, and this is in a field. And even with him, he's, once it came out, I didn't have it, and they told me they wasn't giving it to me unless I sat down with Attorney Cups, and it'll be like my own little private executive session, and then I couldn't talk about it. And I said, no, thank you. Why? Because I wasn't going to keep any secrets from the public. Nothing about our water system, delivery system, the quality of the water should be a secret. So here's the thing. What happened to the money? Who gonna pay for all of this? So I asked the person who is an expert, I said, well, how much is all this? Are they going through all this? He says, probably at least 100 million. It could be 100 million, Tonya. He says, it's hard to put it out because they have not even bid out some of them projects. Some of the projects that are required to be done have not even been bid out. So again, where are we going to get the money? How is Flint going to pay to do what the AC order, administrative consent order requires? Where's the money going to come from?
Where was the money at that they had to do it the first time?
I don't know. Sir, that was before my time. Okay. Not that was before my, now we do know there was change orders. And again, we don't have no DPW director. We do not have one. We haven't had one since March 17, 2023. Mike Brown said, what y'all won't do is leave me holding the bag. I will not be responsible for this foolishness. I'm out. I'm gone. He quit before construction season.
So it's something serious, right?
Yeah, but see, this the same. Mike Brown was the same one that Mayor Neely told he had to go grab with the trash. We had the trash hearings. And it's recorded. And it's a stenographer that's got it down written where he said he was instructed by Mayor Neely to go into the CFO's office, then which was Shelby Freyer, to grab off a copy of the contract for the waste collection and to shred it. He said the mayor had him upset as he was yelling at him. He was instructed by the mayor to go shred the trash contract. I ain't make that up. That's a fact. They shut them trash hearings down. Judy Priestley did, who was now standing with Mayor Neely. She shut it down. She stopped it. And she stands with him today. Now, she's supposed to be an accountant. Why is she trying to get down to the facts? She's supposed to be all about the numbers. No.
Maybe she's a bad accountant.
No. I ain't speaking to that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to speak to that about her. But she's supposed to be about the numbers.
She don't got them right, though.
No. Why is she not getting to the bottom of that? And you know what her reason was? I didn't like how Eric Mays was talking to the mayor. This ain't no popularity contest. What is wrong with you, lady? This is the business of the city. Now, we paid $9 million more for a trash contract. There is no science to picking that trash up, and there were other companies. So they didn't like Republic or the one before. Okay, well, they bid it out to another. There was other companies. And so, but we're paying $9 million more. Then we're going to have another $6 million deficit because, or raise trash prices too. Either decrease services or raise, or we will have a, darn it, you can't raise the taxes, but we're going to get y'all know, we're going to get like a bill.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
To offset that.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Taxes going up.
Listen, your water bill going up.
How's that study going up and that ain't nothing but poison water?
Who managing our city?
The mayor.
Now, here's the thing. That ACO report was not supposed to get it. When I called the state and Attorney Kim, and when I was talking, they did not state, is what's in them in the comments? Okay. That it would not be released to the public until after. Public need to have public comment on this.
They're going in on Clyde.
I want to know where the money. How are we gonna pay for all these projects in this report? So we got the what's the name back up, and I'm gonna get into that. I don't understand. I don't know how we gonna pay for this stuff, and the report is rather lengthy, also. So if you can put is it still up? I got this. Days after news investigation. Yep, quietly resumes in Flint. So I'm gonna scroll down. There was one. So okay, down to where it says the move comes less than a week after Scripps News was first to report that despite being under a federal contempt of order, which we are by Judge Lawson, for failing to complete and to remove lead from the residents' drinking water, the city had quietly stopped the project in December with no plans to restart. Why? They said they have no more money. We revealed that the city had already spent all but $1.5 million. Remember I was saying the $1.5 million? They threw at them and said, hey, wrap this up. We can give you $1.5 million. Some $100 million. And federal funds set aside for projects, and its contract with Roe had expired last year. The work started late again Tuesday, the city said, but was focused only on replacing the pipes at the 31 homes mandated by the court order. I know they moving over stuff because Mr. Jeff's stuff, they didn't say he didn't contact them. They couldn't contact him. That was just lies, y'all. It was lies. The city of Flint was ordered to identify and replace all active lead and galvanized steel lines. But Scripps News found there are still hundreds more known lead service lines and over 1,000 addresses that still have not been inspected. We ain't got no money. The money gone. The city maintains that it hasn't had cooperation from residents to do the work. Well, they did with Jeff and they did with Hadia, and I can name you some more. 6th Ward, because these residents I was keeping in contact with and then making sure, pressing this. They also spoke directly to residents saying they have been trying to get the city to come to their property and do the work for years. It says director of the state office charged with regulating Flint's water system said completing only part of the work wouldn't be enough. They're not going to get a pass on getting the rest of these lead lines out, Eric Oswald, director of the Drinking Water and Environmental Health Division in the Michigan Department of Environmental Great Lakes. That's a lot. Look, Oswald over the water. They got like 10 different words with what his department is. He says they have to remove all lead service lines in the city, whether somebody consents to it or doesn't consent to it, whether it's a home, whether it's a business. Those all have to be removed, Oswald told Scripps. Let me say that again. They have to remove all lead service lines in the city, whether somebody consents to it or not. It doesn't consent, whether it's a home or whether it's a business. Those all have to be removed. They ain't removing all that stuff. They're not. And so they move. I know they're moving people over because they're saying that they couldn't get Mr. Jeff. Lies. He filled out the consent a couple times. Y'all know I gave that in the man's name, the Scripps too. I will listen. I'm gonna fight for the people. Hadia got hers done. Jeff may not get his done. We ain't got no money. There's no money. It's not. Yeah. And they just been kicking the can. Judy said would kick the can down the road.
That was crazy.
That's crazy. These are real lives. So I want y'all to read that article, and it is on my page. And so it's so much in here. But you don't need the city. They don't need your consent. Why? It's between homeowners don't own that anyways. The part that they changing is between the street and the sidewalk. The street and the sidewalk. That's owned by the city anyways. They don't need your consent. Now, Mr. Oswald, and I know Woodson gonna be talking about this, and and he gonna be on his head, because he was.
So Michelle Young said she finally got hers. She finally got mine done.
Yeah, and Michelle's been my friend since we were like 4 or 5. We went to pre-K together and lived down the street from each other, one house in between. I known her so long that we got whoopings together, and that's real. We got whoopings together. And so it took Michelle a long time, and she was persistent. Michelle be the one that don't nobody know. She always coming to city council, giving people stuff to do. I want to give y'all a project. I need you. I'm like, don't you come and give me no more work to do. I want to see you work with this person. And I said, don't you come here and give me no more work to do. I don't have enough time to do the work I got. She coming here giving extra projects. So she did finally get hers done, and the people along her street. But for years, and they had said first that she didn't do hers. That was the story. Michelle is very meticulous. She keeps records. She works for the number one automaker in America, and she runs a department. So whatever, she's up there. And so, you ain't dealing with a woman who's not smart, but she put coming down to City Hall giving me work.
You got a point there.
And Michelle, I don't need no more work. Okay.
She even gave us an assignment.
Y'all got an assignment too.
Yeah, always. She gave a bump in assignment.
What was y'all assignment?
I'll tell you off air.
Oh Lord.
I'll tell you off air.
Michelle, don't you give me no more assignments, okay? Look, I'm doing good to show up nowadays, okay? So Arthur Woodson is going to be going over this. And I did tell him I would, we need to sit down to go over that report to make it to where everyday people can understand it and to where it's simplified.
Basically, for me, it would be layman terms.
Well, we're going to put it in layman terms.
Yeah, because it need to be put in layman terms so people can understand. But the biggest thing is, how are we going to pay for all them projects? Some of them have not even bid it out. If they say they only have 1.5 million, they still have service lines to complete. Where is the money going to come from? Who is advocating for us on the state level? State rep. Well, nobody.
Y'all, Mickey, I don't even cuss on
I
it.
know, I didn't want to.
I'm about to cuss and fuss. Okay.
I'm sorry. Wow.
Mickey.
I'm sorry. We ain't got no help then. That's basically what we don't got a friend in government.
We don't. And let me tell you something. I don't care how nice somebody is. Mm-hmm. This ain't if I like you. Mm-hmm. This is doing what's right and understanding what it is you're supposed to do. And that to me is the biggest thing. These service lines, as Oswald, the state of Michigan said, have to be changed, business, residential, whether they want to do it or not. Just simple as that. It has to be done. And these things have not been done. They have not been done. So Woodson said he was going to come on today, but he needs some bullet points so that people can see it. And literally to sit down, it really has to be put into like a chart, explained, and in layman's term. Mm-hmm. But the big picture is all service lines have not been complete. Mm-hmm. And for those who have said, I've contacted them, Miss Bell ain't been done. Or Miss Bell, I've been calling about hers, and I turned hers in, and her neighbors. They on Pulaski Street. Theirs ain't been done. It's clear what they're supposed to be doing. And we need to make sure that Mr. Oswald holds the city of Flint responsible. But how do we pay for that? I mean, that is a problem. And what happened to the money to pay for it underneath this administration? He cannot say that he was not left. He was left a $24 million fund balance, which he need that now just to finish service line. Yeah, because they saying the average service line is $10,000.
And he got how many?
They don't know. And Oswald said every single one. So if it's 1,000, so you do 1,000 times 10. So look, my mind ain't working. So somebody figure it out for me. 1,000 times 10, 10,000. 1,000 people need it done.
Over 1 million?
Yeah, way over that. And then it could be more. And so that'll include restoration. And you have to complete restoration. There's over 3,000 restorations that need to be done. Well, if you do them extra 1,000, it's going to be 4,000 restorations to be done. There's no money for restorations. Now, Mike Brown, y'all, when he was here, it's on video, he was saying, oh, it's 8,000, 2,000. That restoration number was all over the place. So
100 million. I mean, that's some money right there, Tonya.
Well, listen, like, I gotta, yeah.
Where the money at? I'm like, Papa, where the money at, Neely?
That part.
Wow. So you mean to tell me we ain't got money to finish what we got to do?
No, and that's why we are in default. And that's why the ACO report they didn't want to release. So here's my thing. What made them release that ACO report? I wouldn't have done it if I was Neely. I'd have held down until it got passed. I would have. Who forced his hand? He would have done that. Why? It made Arthur Woodson look like he was right. It proved Arthur Woodson was right. Do you think he want Arthur Woodson to be proven right that, these service lines are not complete, that I said they didn't have no money left. And Woodson was saying it was a double account, a dual account. They're saying now they have no money. These numbers are all over the place. The projects have not been bidded out. They have not been completed. Some have not even been started. So would you want, if I was the mayor, as much as Arthur Woodson does not like the mayor, and I think he says that every day, I wouldn't want Arthur Woodson to be right. And so then when the city puts up, they want to be transparent. And I think that's $10 million is what it's going to cost.
Oh my God. We 8.5 short.
No, we more than that because you also got restoration. And so we more than that. And so we need that 24 million fund balance that was left. And that money then went through like that. Now, whatever's left in Arpa funds, state may say, because you can use Arpa funds. You may have to use the Arpa funds, to do it. He's, I don't know what they're going to force him to do. I don't know, but I was surprised that they released it. I was shocked because I was told by Attorney Kim it would not be released. And the press was trying to get a hold to it. They were told that it would not be released. And so when for him to release it, the pressure
is on.
It's on. It's on. See, these are reasons why people get put out of office.
Yeah.
These are reasons. You have, 10 years later, we don't know where the money at. 10 years later, the service lines are not fixed. 10 years later, the restorations aren't done. 10 years later, you have not completed the infrastructure projects. 10 years later, the TMF report basically states Flint has failed. And then so, if we don't finish stuff, they have the right to fine us. So what is the fine? I think $5,000 for the first month. And then is it 200 or 200 a day for every day we don't complete the project? Well, if we don't have money to complete the project, we're going to be fined $200 a day to eternity. So where is the money going to come from? The money was, where did the money go?
That's the question.
Why weren't these projects taken seriously and went back to the state and said, hey, supply and demand charge went up. We need the money. Why didn't we have a DPW director to say these projects are important? We have got to make sure we are following, what is required of us. Why didn't the mayor go back to make sure that was done? He didn't do it. And council don't talk about it. Council don't like to. They told Jerry Murphy Carter she was derelict in her duty for not going back in executive session, which is the same thing they put on my suspension when they put me out, removed me from office for 30 days. That I was derelict in my duty. There is nothing that states you have to go back into executive session. They need to stop lying. There's nothing that states you have to go back into executive session. And so when they said that, they numbered a pack of liars. They need to stop that. Nothing state. That's why we take a vote. You take a vote. Do you want to go? Yes, no, or you want to abstain? Then you can state why. So they need to stop that. They just put something on something to vote on, and they one lie and the other one swear by it. And then they put it in a resolution. So, I said we weren't gonna stay on long.
Hey, look, you had to get the information out.
And listen, and that report, I don't know if Woodson is calling. I'm gonna call him when I get done, but because it's gonna be some work to go over this, so that we can put it in layman's terms. I don't know how we're gonna pay for this, and the report is a lot. And it's millions and millions. And as Oswald said, they don't need consent to change some service lines. And they don't go in everybody's house. Let me tell you, they didn't come in my house when they changed it.
Right.
They didn't come and check my inside. And guess what? Ben Harbor got their interior plumbing fixed. Read the Biden one. Yes, they did. They got their interior plumbing along with their service lines. Why don't we have people advocating for us like that?
Because you got somebody getting $50,000 for
themselves. They're selling out the city.
And Candace wanted that 300.
Oh, listen. She wanted that 300,000 bad. I mean, and the administration, they did her dirty. She's like, look, I did my part. I need y'all to do y'all part. I vote on everything y'all in support. But when she told Quincy, look, don't pretend like you don't know what this is. You were well supported. He was like, what are you talking about? For a good church, 145,000. In my opinion, in other words, look, we support a good church. You better vote on this 300,000. Stuff was getting, I was like, ooh, they eating their own.
Yes.
You know, she done voted and supported all of this stuff.
Yes, she did.
Hers ain't getting supported.
Plenty money gone, Candace.
So, I would like for everyone, the Biden one. Can you put that one up too? So, President Biden stated this day and age in this article, he can't believe this is America. People should not have lead or galvanized plumbing in their home. Okay, President Biden, I agree with you. Look, you may have to slide us some dollars to fix ours, but he probably won't do it underneath the leadership we have now. Because the question is accountability. What did you do with that money? You know, he was not going to give more money with the same administration. He's not going to do that. It's not going to happen.
We up there.
Okay, it's up. So let me go back and pull it up. So in this article, look, y'all, Mickey's stuff is fine. It's working correctly, his computer. Now I'm behind.
It's all good, though. You're going to come with it. I told him you was giving them the facts today, since they be, you know, a couple people be saying this disinformation been going out.
I always put up stuff.
That's why I called it the fact show today.
Yeah, they need to stop that, because I put up the facts. I put up the truth, because I know they be just waiting for something to say, oh, that's not what happened. I gotta go back to my page to pull that one up. Mm-hmm. So President Biden is it $3 billion that he's putting up? 38. So President Biden pledges $3 billion more to rid U.S. water lead. But Flint, it's not that simple. Okay, so it gets down to, but in Flint, Michigan, whose residents are credited with bringing attention to the dangers of lead service lines to this country, removing them has all been anything but quick. But a recent Scripps News investigation found our exclusive report revealed that hundreds of lead service lines there still haven't been replaced, and more than 1,000 addresses remain unchecked. We're still here, Flint resident Melissa May stated, and she did. And we're still here. It's not fixed. Last week, that marked the 10-year anniversary. So damage from lead is irreversible and poses an especially significant threat to children's developing brains. The Centers of Disease Control and others say no amount of lead is safe. So where we gonna get this money from to fix this? I don't know. So there are serious concerns. I want to say thanks to Scripps News. That's why we can't say we don't want people involved. Scripps News, she flies in, and so do her other people that she works with, her team. They fly in or drive in, and we need them. They are still exposed. They wanted this water crisis to go away, so they didn't have to complete them. Thank you to Scripps News, and thank you to all the people who are saying, we're coming here to support, because we may need to go someplace to support. Mm-hmm. And so You don't have to say because I have a county line, a city line, or a state line, I can't cross that boundary. We have to start coming together, because they'll run all over everybody. Big government doesn't care. The people are the ones who elect them, and the people should be the ones removing from office. Service lines are not changed. So I am asking everyone to show up May 8th, May 13th for Oak Park. Support them. Lord knows as much as they love parks, and they done gave all these monies to these parks, that they should want to save Flint's very first park, Flint's historical park, Flint's park that got started with all, Flint's Tent City Park. You would think they want to save that park. So I think I'm pretty much closing out, Mickey, and because I don't want to get into too much more. I am going to go over like that report and highlight things so it is in layman's term. Our next council meeting is going to be May 8th. There's an election if you live in the 9th ward. There's an election the 7th. That is correct. There's an election on May 7th. And I think I'm tired still.
They wore you out.
I meant to cut my ringer off.
Well, you back on council to your cause.
It never stopped anyway.
I know, but they do
it
other
never
ones.
Stop.
I know.
And listen, if anybody out there partying, stop it. If you live in my ward, listen, it's an ordinance. Past 9 o'clock, you cannot have your music blaring and loud. 9 o'clock, cut it off. Then during the day, it can only reach a certain decibel. It can only reach a certain decibel. Because as far as if people want to keep doing, it need to be a nuisance house and shut you down. I do not care, like Cheers Market. If I'm not gonna be the only person up, I'm calling everybody. Right. If I'm up, I'm calling look, Chief Green, this is a problem. Yeah. The enforcement. And I tell people, call 911. Because you got to have a legal record. People get frustrated, like, the police don't come. You still have to have a record. I give them the desk sergeant's number. And if you need the desk sergeant's number, it is 810-237-6802. Now, how many times I done gave the number out? People don't even know numbers anymore. So that's 810-237-6802. So if you got to call 911, no one shows up, you need to call the desk sergeant. That's directly to the Flint police. And that's what I tell people, because the people, people party. House parties, COVID brought back a whole new house party, and they just disrespectful. Disrespectful. So, been a long day. Anything you want to close on? Anything in the comments? And I want to thank listen, click, like, share, and subscribe. Can you find the pink?
No, I find it. And they said they found the baby girl. Yeah, that's in the chat. They just said they found the baby girl.
Where did they find her near?
In the, hold up, you go back up here. Did they say the Flint River?
I know she was in the Flint River.
Like the Flint River, they said.
Did they say which part? I know they had taken it all the way down to Montrose, Michigan.
No, they never said what part. They just said, wow.
Prayers for her family. Little girl Taj was her name. Little girl that fell into the Flint River. I don't
want to mess up the pronunciation.
You say you don't want to mess up.
Yeah, I got some of the worst English in America.
Let me see. I have not watched any news.
I haven't either. You know what? I try to watch it. I've been really trying to really peep on what's going on. You know what? You might have to send that back to me because you got so much.
Oh, I see this now. Okay. I don't know if I can say. Genesee County Sheriff, 6-year-old bodies found in the Flint River. After nearly a week of searching, law enforcement has recovered the body of 6-year-old Taj Evans. Yeah. My heart goes out to her family. That's heartbreaking. So to her family, and to her friends, that is not something. That's just She's a little girl, a little angel. So, and I know people are. I'm gonna pull it up. Because it's ABC 12 News. And it's actually on their okay, Mickey. I don't even know if I can send this. Oh, I think I can send this to you now. I'm gonna send you this because people have been wondering. I say prayers to her family. It's just a sad. It's sad. It says she had fallen into the river. And I think that should be coming your way now. And what else did I need to send to you?
I put Wilson in the cash. I put.
Oh, I got did you find it?
No, I couldn't find it.
You need me to resend it?
Because I just sent it across the.
Okay.
Oh
God. Did you find it?
I got the little.
Okay, let me find it. Okay. Is that up?
I'm putting hers up right now.
So for people who want the update about the 6-year-old little girl, she has been found, according to ABC 12 News, that her body was. I don't know where at in the river, but I know they were. They had all agencies and then volunteers helping to look. So the Genesee County Sheriff, and I'm quite sure Sheriff Swansea probably gave a news release, a news conference, because Lord knows he is the king of news conferences, without a doubt. So Genesee County Sheriff, 6-year-old little girl body was found. Yeah, if you pray for her family. This is sad. No one wants to lose a child. This is tragic. This is tragic. So my heart and my prayers goes out to the family. So there's the update on the little baby girl, the little angel. That's sad. Moving on, May 8th. May 3rd. I gotta take this. Oh, this is gonna be rude, y'all. But I gotta. Hey.
Hold on, I'll mute you.
News.
You unmuted.
Okay, that was Scripps News. Y'all, sorry, I took that call because it was important. Because we need people to help us. That was Scripps News. To get our news out there. Scripps News, thank you, Carrie and your team. And so that was her call. I'm gonna call her back. So we need them. So if you put up, broadcasts like these or podcasts like these are brought to you only on the basis of we are independent. So we're asking if you could please donate Cash App, $810 News Media Group. I need a nap. Is that up there?
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay. So we're asking podcasts, independent podcasts are brought to you. I do not take a salary. I don't take a dime, period. Nothing. And it was funny someone sent to me that I'm gonna call him a fool who was over there talking about some Tonya Burns was big. And I'm not bad. I'm asking people to support this. This money does not go to Tonya Burns. It goes to make sure we have equipment, we have a facility that we can do these podcasts and make sure that these the news and what's happening in Flint can get out to the world. It can get out to the world. And so that is, and I appreciate everything that people do. So you can keep that up while I keep talking.
I got it.
So if it's $5, please donate Cash App $810 News Media Group. If you could please donate. If it could be $5, it could be $2, it could be $10, it could be $100, it could be $20. It creates a space and a place that I'm able to share information that I get, that I can share. My commitment was to be transparent with the public, making sure that as I got news or something I felt was aware that the public should be aware of, that I share it. because Flint is not unique. This can happen anywhere. Benton Harbor had a water crisis. Jackson, Mississippi had a water crisis. Baltimore, Maryland did. So we have got to be better stewards of sharing good information. So if you can donate, Cash App, $ 810 News Media Group. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And so May 8th, and leave it up, May 8th and May 13th, if you can support it, City Council. We were asking that you show up. Oak Park and friends, they need the help and they need the support. If we come together as one, we come together. It's not an I, it's a we. We can do some great things. We can control and what's good for our community. I want to say too, thank you for Jedediah Brown and him. He will be back. I believe his date is in May. He will be back. He's in Dalton, Illinois. If y'all watching Dalton, Illinois, you're still leaving that up, right? And if you're in Dalton, Illinois, you're seeing what Teflon Tiffany Tahoe, the mayor of Dalton, who the FBI is investigating, a hot mess. They had all kind of stuff going on there. She put her name on signs, street signs, and street signs just everywhere. But guess who on our Crime Watcher signs? Mayor Neely. Every telephone pole. Them telephone poles. You look his name on there. You can't use taxpayers' dollars for that. She got in trouble for that. Teflon Tiffany did. That's one of the things that they cited her on. That you can't do that. You can't use taxpayers' money and put your name up on it. And them signs is everywhere. On the corner. You'll see a Crime Watch, on there in his name. That's what she got in trouble for. Putting that stuff up using, taxpayers' money from the city of Dalton. She did. And so and she did a lot of stuff. So the FBI is there now. So whatever is going on.
Maybe they might do a U-turn and come this way so they go home.
Ooh, listen, them Arpa funds, baby. People have been watching. We had 2 council people. Was it Connecticut? Voted on their own. And I talked about that before. You leaving that up.
Yeah, I got it up now. I just put this comment. Beverly said, a narcissist. But Lumi said he dropped his plate. You said that. He dropped mine on the floor. If they just happen to just do this, hit 75 this way.
Well, I think it's 96 now.
96. Oh.
To 69.
Oh, you get off. It's gonna be
do that route all the time.
Ooh, there's gonna be some people telling the Flint.
I think that when we look at the Arpa funds and how they were used, they were misused. You have 2 where I asked when we were at the Dome, and then the final vote when we were over at the Genesee County commissioners. The final day that we voted, and Dennis Pfeiffer asked them to not vote, and they was just looking like we gonna get our money. We gonna get our money. Like, okay, y'all gonna well, somebody come along with that money, And they didn't disclose it. And how I found out about it was by a fluke. But listen, y'all, donate $ 810 News Media Group. Show up May 8th and 13th. And show up, because it is a different experience when you sitting at home. When you complain about the quality of life in Flint, you got to do something to change. You're complaining about the blight. If you're complaining about the police services, Chief Green be in the meetings, Arnold Brown be in the meetings, those people be in those meetings. You can talk to them. Your voice is heard. Come to City Council. May 7th, we should have a new council person. Yes. We should have a new council person. There are 3 people who are running. I am supporting Jonathan Jarrett. Yes, he's a fair man. He's an honest man. He is a banker. And he's not business like that. He's actually a community banker. And he gave some great answers in that forum. I mean, he gave some great answers. I am supporting Jonathan Jarrett. Jonathan Jarrett for the 9th Ward. He is genuine. He's not this flamboyant. It's a thought process for him. His answers, he has a very methodical way of moving. And that's who I'm supporting. It's not that, and I don't believe in a clique. I don't like a clique, because we're not going to always agree. He's an independent thinker. And that's what we need is independent thinkers. He is an independent thinker. And that's what we should all be.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like, and people will remember, I'm very clear. I vote on resolutions, and I tell, Candace, I don't care if y'all don't like you. I don't think you have any redeeming qualities, but I do support this.
Right.
I support this because it's good for the people. Yes, and I've said that. It has nothing to do, you don't have to like them to vote on something. Mm-hmm. And I explain why I vote when I vote on something. Mm-hmm. I do. And sometimes we have to go back and, we have to fix some things. Mm-hmm. And I am all for fixing it. And it's funny, one of the things where Judy had picked her person for, I forget which board it was. And him and I had a great talk. Mm. And I had told him, his name is Chris. And if Chris is watching, I know to get back. And hey, Chris. And we had a good talk. And I had told him, I like you really in person. But I think sometimes when you get with a group, things change. Mm-hmm. Him and I had a very good conversation at the groundbreaking. Right. And I was happy about it because, people all make mistakes, including myself. But him and I had a great conversation. And it was genuine. Mm-hmm. It was genuine. I've always thought he was a good person. And someone had called me about him and said, hey, he's a great person. I told that person, I said, I agree, but I had questions. And we're supposed to ask. I'm going to be transparent.
Right.
And that's what, I aspire to be. And if I'm wrong, I'll go back and say it. Him and I had a great conversation. He does work very hard for the community. Right. But I had some questions. We have cleared everything up. I'm trying to think of something else I wanted to get into. You had said something, Mickey. Darn it, I needed to expand on that. But listen, y'all donate $, A1 News Media Group. So it was something else you had said. God, you made me forget now. But I do want Oak Park, show up, y'all. We got to show up for each other. Mm-hmm.
Chris Fry was his name.
Yep. And and him and I had a great conversation. Matter of fact, Chris fixed my hair for me. He did, because it was windy out there. It was windy. And so him and I had a great, sometimes you have to have conversations. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we have to have I need to understand where you're coming from. And for me, I'm very direct. And I said that day, he was I enjoy one-on-one. He's a different person. Mm-hmm. And I think we have a great understanding. And I enjoy the dialogue that we have. He works really hard for what he does. I know he wants our community to be a better community, and he does have a big heart. Mm. I think that sometimes you can get with some of these people and they bring you down. Right. These crazy cliques. I'm not into no crazy clique. At the end of the day, I have to answer for myself. I have to be able to own what I say and what I do. And if I make a mistake, I have to go back and retract it and fix it. And I don't have no problem saying, hey, I was wrong. Let me correct that. Where I make my mistake is where I need to correct it. And that's who I am and what I am. I own what I say. So I do want to, and I'm saying it to say, sometimes things can heal, and we can move forward. I don't know if on this council that it could heal and move forward. I don't know. I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why. You can't talk to people like Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter has been talked to by Candace Mushat and ever think that's going to be okay. She's just disrespectful to women, period. She talks crazy to me, And a lot of times y'all don't hear why, because her microphone is off. You don't hear it. That is a problem. And to tell Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, you don't have a brain and, all that crazy, just disrespectful. Then when she was telling her, who the F you talking to? Who the F you talking to? And then she mistakenly said Eva, because if you watch the video, she's looking at Jerry Winfrey Carter. And then she goes, what's up? What's up? What's up? I mean, oh, now you want to fight her? Candace Mushat, what are you doing? It's on video. I have been called a bitch by several council members. I ain't never called them a cuss word back because they want that. I don't do that. And then they lie. Oh, I don't think this council will ever come together because they don't like each other. And no one wants to be called out of their government name. And they do it all the time. they do it, and then I'll sit up and tell like it's like what's that TikTok? She say she's never cussed, and they put it together on the TikTok. Oh, I have never cussed. I'm the only council member who up here has never. No, I don't cuss at people. I ain't call nobody out their name yet, and I'm gonna hope I don't have to where I get that angry. And so if I remain seated when Eva was talking just crazy to me, crazy, because she wanted me to feed into her energy. I didn't give her that, because when you give them that, then they win, or they think they win. You don't have that much power over me. So the court case, I'm gonna close because you didn't make it to court. So the court case, I can't talk about it, y'all. I can't, not yet. So when it's done, we are now waiting for Judge Brian Pickell to give his decision. We thought that he would have it by Friday. We didn't get it. We do know originally my case went to Judge Newblatt. Then Newblatt recused himself for no reason. We don't know why. Now, Judge Newblatt is the judge. He is the chief judge. If anything come into Flint, they got to sign anything that the FBI might need. Judge Newblatt would be the one to sign it. So I don't know why he recused himself, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. Because I've never had, I'm not hanging out with Judge Newblatt like, what up, David? That's, what up, Judge? I'm not, I was surprised. And so that clock was ran out, and then we got Judge Brian Pickell. The gallery was full. I want to say again, thank you to everyone who showed up to give me support, and to everyone on social media, everyone who inbox, text, call. Thank you. And still keep me in your prayers. We have not gotten the judge's decision yet. Attorney Terry Johnson, you rock, you awesome. Attorney James Mikowski, you rock, you awesome. I mean, they came in, and man, people was like, look, I need their name. And the gallery was full. And I think the judge was kind of surprised. He says, oh, we have a full gallery. Well, let me tell you about the cell phone rules. And so when people show up, I want to tell you, I thank you for supporting me, because I support each and every one of you that are watching. And I'm thankful you support 810 News Media Group. So when I find out the decision, then I can talk. And it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot. I'm surprised Arthur Woodson hasn't talked about it. I think in his former life, he wanted to be an attorney or something, because he was time. I'm like, shut up. Time. Shut up. Let the attorneys do, Mikowski and Johnson do their job. I'm surprised he can talk, but we're going to wait. When it's over, I will have Attorney Terry Johnson and Mikowski on, and I will take questions. Y'all can give him questions. I'll have the transcript, so there's certain key things. Listen, the girl gonna highlight. We gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. What I do like what my attorneys did is they stuck to the law. They didn't do the garbage. They held Attorney Kim to the law. And they stated case law. And I want to say this to people, because I don't want nobody putting in the comments, because people will say, oh, well, Lintel Law. I have a very good relationship with Lintel Law. I am friends with them, and I respect them. They are good people. They took care of Councilman Mays. Councilman Mays would have to be the hardest client to ever have. Why? Y'all know he wanted to be an attorney. And what he say? I went to law school, passed the bar the first time, and then I met a woman and called my first felony. So y'all know what happened. Councilman Mays was a client that, he had a lot of input. He wanted to be an attorney. But I'm gonna tell y'all this: there are things that every time there was something that I needed or had a question, Lintel Law has been there to answer questions, to even give it, and gave me great guidance. One of the things was, how do we get 7th Ward on the ballot? Because Candace was trying to skirt. She was trying to steal that election. She had already not been put on the ballot. And I'm like, I need a resolution drawn. Look, I need some help. And I got help from Lintel Law Group to make sure 7th Ward could elect their own person. And that was important in our democracy. 7th Ward should be able to elect their own person. Now, y'all remember, Candace Michelle, 4 or 5 meetings, she voted no to put it on. One of the first times she voted no to put it on the resolution because she didn't want to have to run for the seat. I don't know who this is calling me. Y'all, hold on a second. I got to take this from Nikki. Hello? Yeah, I take residents' calls because it can be an emergency. Okay, so I'm sorry, that was a resident calling, y'all. I take calls. So and I'm gonna call her back when I'm done. So I want to say this: Linto Law helped to make sure 7th Ward, matter of fact, I think they really did the work, was able to vote for the person they wanted to select, not the person Flint City Council selected. And that was important because they got out, broke quorum. Judy broke quorum, Liddell broke quorum, Quincy broke quorum, and Candace. They did not want to put her on the ballot. That's a fact. Did not. It took 4 or 5 times. What's that? I think I started in October. I'm like, why is this not on the ballot? I don't want to, elect nobody like First Ward. I don't want to vote to put anybody in the seat. That vote should go to the people. So for people who are saying, why didn't you choose Linto Law? They had a lot going on. I chose another firm. I had been dealing with, I don't know, some may know I had to sue the county before. So dealing with, and I won. And so I needed to use a different attorney. And there's some things I still, that I'm doing with Linto Law. And I'm going to tell you, they did a wonderful job, Barry and Council Mays too. So if you're in the 7th Ward, you can thank Linto Law for making sure y'all can vote for your own person. And there's some other things that they've done, which have just been great. But I'm going to tell you this, Councilman Mays was just blackballed, in the court system. He was just blackballed. People didn't like Councilman Mays. He was too outspoken. He was just blackballed. So when I find out, when we hear the judge's decision, I will have attorneys Johnson and Mikowski on, and they rock and they stick to the law. And I appreciate everyone who showed up. And you still got the thing up there?
I'll just take it down.
All right, and listen, y'all donate. Keep, help Mickey keep the lights on for 81 News Media Group. I do not take a salary. I don't take a dime. And listen, everybody want to look Just Oil. Listen, Just Oil, they're on Facebook. Her name is Sharon Duggar, and she makes natural products, y'all. These are her products. They're natural. So Just Oil. Google them. So anything that we close out, Mickey, because I was hoping we would have, I don't know, we did have the ACO order release.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this, y'all. Just imagine. Mayor nearly got to be fighting the ear right now that AC order is out. He got to be, because Arthur Woodson was on his head about it. On his head. And that one, are you in a rush, Mickey?
No, you got a couple minutes. She outside.
Is she?
Yeah.
That AC, y'all need to go to that AC order on Arthur Woodson's page and listen to him in that communications meeting. It will be very clear to you. And Katie O'Neill was in there lying. That is the mayor's communications director. Man, she don't be telling the truth. I mean, how your communications director is communicating a lie. That's just a problem. I mean, that there is no trust. There's no trust. And when you listen to that meeting again, he's caught her lying before. We should come back to apologize and say she was wrong when Woodson caught her telling the story, and it's recorded. Woodson, if you need to be putting that in your what's the thingy, because he showed there is no trust. The people don't trust our government. They don't trust our elected officials, and he needs to have that in there. So, anything else, Mickey?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. How far are we over?
You got 2 minutes and 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh my God, Mickey! Yeah. Listen, y'all, wherever you are from, whatever city, state you are from, thank you for sharing. Drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. Listen, Mickey. It'd be a lot going on, y'all. I just wish things flowed, without incident. I could just come talk happy stuff with y'all. I wish I could and talk like, oh, there's this and that. It's some stuff happening. And we have to all come together, all of us, for a better community, for a better country. But I'm going to end with this. How we going to pay for all that work in that ACO order? We ain't got the money. So look, I'm going to leave that for y'all to think on that. And wherever you're tuning in from, I can't see where y'all tuning in from because we don't have the screen up. And so it's some technical difficulty. So I can't tell y'all where you come from, but wherever you at, I said my love, my appreciation. Thank you for taking the time to be talking with Tonya. Tune in next week. I don't know. I may have to do a special edition. And if I do the special edition, we'll do like a little banner, when the judgment come through. So I'll have my attorneys on, Attorney Terry Johnson, Attorney James Mikowski on, so we can, and I'll take questions. I'll take questions in the chat with them, and then I can tell y'all what happened. And until then, we just got to sit, we got to wait. They presented their best case, and it's about due process. I think due process is one of the words that was used, and disingenuous. People who are disingenuous. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Whatever you do, enjoy. Life is short. Tell somebody that you love them. Anyone that you're having a disagreement with is not worth holding on to that. Fix it if you can, especially if it's family. Fix it. Nobody wins when it's over some garbage. Fix it. Y'all know I fix it with Arthur Woodson every 4 days. Me and him argue. We go at it. So me and him will be in therapy next week. You laughing, Mickey, but I'd have been in therapy with him before. Literally. And they would say, understand, literally. And I'm like, you can't talk to a therapist like that. And then we go at it. So sometimes I know Woodson is very passionate and he has some very good information. So shoot over to his page to discuss what's in that ACO order. His information is correct. And he knows my 1.5 million was correct too. So we ain't got no money, y'all. So we got to figure it out. So I'm done. I'm out. Mickey, only thing you probably got to say is peace.
Yep, I'm trying to say peace.
Y'all, look, thank y'all for wherever y'all watching from, and donate to 810 News Media Group. We appreciate you. Have a good weekend.